Hello Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Denver, Colorado. I'm so glad you could join me this afternoon. I have a card for you that is one in a series that I'm doing using the Poppy Suite. It's so big and there's so many things that one can do with it. Today I've got a get well kind of card, and it's very simple but very striking. So let's just get started. Okay, here is my card project for today. Again, very simple design, but I think very striking. And what I've done to make this card is I'm using a Poppy Parade card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. Okay, and then I have 2 pieces of basic black cut at 4 by 5 1/4 for the backing pieces inside and out, and 2 pieces of Whisper White that are 3 3/4 by 5. And we'll be doing our stamping on this one. And then these 2 pieces, I don't know if you've seen these embellishment packs in this Poppy Suite, but there's a whole bunch of banners and circles, and these are not stickers. They're actually laser cut pieces. And you see the difference between this one and this one. On this one, I used the one that is the poppy and the bud, and you see how these are more of a color wash looking thing. And when I put mine on my card, what I did was I just used my blend and I darkened it because I wanted to match the same tone that I'm doing here. And so I did these 2, and we'll just decide between these 2 which one we want on the inside of our card. But there are all different kinds of pieces. There are, and I've been messing with them here a little bit, there are some vellum pieces that are embossed in white. And then there are these that have a shiny piece to them. And then there are the stickers, not stickers, these pieces, and they're very heavy. They're out of almost like a little heavy cardboard. And today I thought I would use some of these pieces. And there's also some watercolor paper with white embossed pieces, and I've been messing around with putting some water, using my aqua painter and getting some designs out here. Still not exactly sure what I'm going to do with those, but in the future we'll be looking at some of those as well. But I thought I would share that's where these pieces came from today. Okay, so let's just get started here. I have made myself a couple of masks, and I haven't done anything where I masked in quite a while, so this will be an interesting sort of tip video on masking. And I have, let's see, I am using the Painted Poppies stamp set. I'm using the big poppy, the small poppy, this down here. I made one in an early effort here, and I used this splatter in the Poppy Parade, and I really didn't like it. I thought it just looked messy. So I like the clean look better. So this, and this, and I used blends. I didn't use this to color in. And again, it looked kind of just messy. So I decided I would just color it in with my blends. All right. So I'm using Memento, and I'm putting my flower right down here in this corner. And this one that's got a couple of folded over pieces, I thought looked best tucked into the corner. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm putting that one down, And if you're at all concerned about this, you want to do it in your Stamparatus. There we go. Got a nice crisp image. So now the next thing when you're masking, and I want to put a poppy at the top and a poppy at the bottom. So I'm going to set this mask down right over my flower here, but I'm not going to take it right to the edge. And I'll bring this up so you can see it. I want you to see where I've put that mask. You see how the edge is here? No matter how thin your piece of paper, and this is just a piece of Post-it note, it is a ledge. And when you stamp down, it's going to leave a space. So when you mask, if you set this back, and it doesn't have to be set back very far, and again, you can just see the edge with a little bit of white there, and that's how I'm going to mask that. Then I'm going to take this flower, ink that up, and I'm going to place my flower, and this gives the illusion that this flower is behind the one that you want to be your main focal piece. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this, and then I'll show you when I lift this mask up, you see that is now, looks like it's perfectly behind that without a gap. And that's the way I found that masking seems to work the best. So now, if I'm going to put a flower down here, I have to lift my mask and do that same thing. Set it just ever so slightly back from the edge. Put it in place. And, whoop, and put it in place by stamping my flower here. So let's see, I'm going to put this one here, and I'm going to have it kind of drooping away from that flower. So right in here, and with any luck at all, I will have that beautifully masked. So it really, this one has a little tiny line in there, but I think that's pretty good. Now, in order then to put leaves on this, we're going to do that same thing. I'm going to put my mask back in place here. No, I'm going, yes, here. Because I'm going to put a leaf on this end. So I'm going to set that one back. Then I'm going to put leaves on the top here. So I have another mask here of my little flower. And I'm going to set that in place also back just a hair. And then I have one more mask for my bottom flower, and I'm going to have a leaf coming out of here, so I want to set that one back ever so slightly right here. All right, so on the sides that I'm going to do my stamping of my leaf, which is here, I want it set back here, set back here, and set back here, so that when I go in and do my stamping of my leaf, I can just comfortably go in and put my two leaves up here, put one down here, and set one over here. There we go. All right, now here's the test. We take off the mask, and it looks like my leaves are coming out from behind my flowers. Again, it's not perfect, but it's very close. And after all, it is hand-stamped work. Okay, so I have one more bit of stamping on here, my sentiment. And this one, hopefully this ink pad is juicy enough that I'll get a good crisp image. And if not, I have my black marker here just in case. But I'm going to put my sending healing hugs right here on my card front. I'm going to let that sit a minute so it transfers the ink. And there we go. Nice crisp image. It looks like I could doctor that up just a tiny bit here. And if you're careful with the marker, you can fill in any. I think for a card class, I would put this one on a Stamparatus for people, so that they could feel real comfortable that they're going to get a good image, and they can restamp it if there's any issue at all. But that's not bad. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is, that is virtually all of the stamping we are going to do on this. Like I said, it's a pretty simple card and pretty fast. So I have my layering pieces here, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and do my coloring. And the only thing I'm changing from this one, I used a dark Granny Apple marker, a blend on this one, and this time I'm going to use the lighter Granny Apple because I want it a little bit brighter than that. And let's see, and then I'm thinking that since this is basically that same image, this is the one we'll use on the inside, and I'll use my Granny Apple Green on this one as well. So for this part of the video, there's absolutely nothing fancy about this coloring. I'm using my dark Poppy Parade, and I'm just going around the edges and then filling in and doing my leaves. And so for this part of the video, I will be speeding this up, and I'll be back in a flash. Okay, well, I'm done with my coloring, and you saw that I colored it with the thin tip, and I didn't have very good success. It's like it's drying out. I'm going to have to replace the marker and see what's going on with that. So I went ahead and went over it with the dark Granny Apple Green, and that's just fine. All right, so the inside of the card, let's see, these pieces are ready to be put together here. Okay, I'm going to mat my front here onto my piece of black. There we go. I just think that there's something about that that's very striking. And on the inside, I'm going to, since we're not doing any stamping, we're going to put this, I don't know what it is, laser cut piece inside. And I'm going to mat this piece on my black and put this piece in place on the inside. And it's not very straight. There, that's a little bit better. And I'm going to just put some snail on the back of this and set this inside right down here, and now that matches the outside of the card pretty well. So this piece is now ready to go on the inside of the card, and I will put that in place. And you could add, we have some stamps that say get well soon. And you could add something else to the inside of this if you wanted to. I think I'm going to leave mine blank for now, and then when I get ready to send it, I can always add some more pieces. You'll notice on a lot of my designs, I do a minimal amount of the stamping, and that way I can add more that's appropriate when I'm actually sending it out. So I like to keep that a little bit simpler. All right, so there we go. There's our card. Now, the last thing I did was put some rhinestones, and I resisted using the poppy sequins on this one and decided that I really wanted bright colors. So I'm going to change this up. I'm going to put a big one up here, and then I'm going to put varying sizes of them here, smaller and medium-sized ones. I love the Take Your Pick tool for this process. It's just so easy to pick them up and put them down. And one there, let's add one more. And one here so that they're kind of going across the card. Maybe that one should be right in here. Okay, there we go. That's it. That is the project for the day. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I do so appreciate it. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. And or you could join my team. The join offer during celebration is always fabulous, and this is no exception. $125 worth of product for $99, plus you get the mini trimmer, and I just love my mini trimmer. And you get a sample pack of designer series paper from the mini catalog, and you get an additional stamp set of your choice, all for the $99. So it works out to almost $185 worth of product for $99. And so it's a wonderful time to join. And I've had several people take advantage of it, and I'd love to have you join us. And my telephone number is always listed below the video, right just below on the See More. And it always has my telephone number and my email address and my blog address and everything. My prize draw for the month of February is the Honeybee Bundle out of the mini catalog. And how you get in my drawing is placing an order of any size on my website, lbedinger.stampinup.net, and you can get to it through my blog, www.inkingenuity.com. So again, that's it for me, and I'll be back soon with more cards, more tips, and more projects. Bye!